Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. In this video, I am going to put out some ideas on how you can save money and earn money in order to be able to more efficiently and effectively prep. I read a lot of comments in which some community members state that they just cannot afford to prep. As I always say, slow and steady wins the race, and hopefully some of the ideas I introduce to you in this video will encourage the community as a whole to leave more ideas in the comments and hopefully encourage those of you that can use a bit more revenue to put some of these ideas to practice so that you can use the savings and or the earnings to prep on the cheap. Ladies and gentlemen, a very smart person told me once that the hardest thing to do in accomplishing any task is to get off the lazy boy and get started. I truly hope that this video motivates you to do whatever you need to do in order to become better prepared. All right, let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. So the first thing you can do is probably the easiest thing you can do, and it's to downgrade your cable plan or eliminate it altogether. Same thing with your phone plan. If you have a phone plan that has all the bells and whistles, then decide for yourself what's more important for you. Is it more important for you to have a phone that has all the bells and whistles attached to it, or is it more important for you to prep with that money instead? Number 2, the 30-day rule. I'm not sure how many of you have heard about the 30-day rule, but prior to purchasing a large ticket item like a car, an expensive television, the state-of-the-art washing machine and dryer, take 30 days to think about it. This will keep you from making an emotional purchase by buying something that you just have to have that can affect your finances for years to come. So for example, let's say you just happen to go to the car lot and you see a car that you just have to have, and you make a decision to buy that vehicle and finance it for the next 5, 6, 7 years just because you had to have that car. Instead of doing that, instead of making that decision based on an emotion, take time to really think about it, look over all of the pros and cons of buying that vehicle, and then make a decision. Now, it doesn't have to be necessarily 30 days, but step away from making that purchase and take time to really think about what you're doing before you do it. Number 3, prior to going shopping, make a list, so you don't end up buying $1,000 worth of goods when you only went to the store to buy some paper plates. Very simple. When you know exactly what you need when you go shopping, you won't make any buys that are instinctive and that you see it and you have to have it. And it may not be $1,000 purchase, but all of these $2 and $3 items that you see really end up adding up to a substantial amount that you could have used for prepping your pantry, your long-term pantry, instead of just having the $12 pack of 3 apples that are really fancy apples. I've seen it before, ladies and gentlemen. Number 4, cook all of your meals at home instead of going out to eat. When I go out to eat, I calculate what I pay for my food in pounds of rice. Seriously, ladies and gentlemen. So for example, today I took my family to a restaurant to eat. We spent $53, which is something that we don't do on a regular basis. Maybe once a month we'll go out to a restaurant to eat or to watch a movie or something like that. But today we spent $53. In my mind, the way that my crazy mind works is that $53 equates to about 125 pounds of rice, or 200,000 calories of nutrition that I could have put away. Number 5, avoid buying what I call convenience foods that are easy for you to make at home, like bread, rolls, cakes, things like that you can make at home yourself for a lot cheaper. For example, you can make 2 loaves of bread at home for less than 50 cents instead of paying dollars for 1 loaf of bread at the supermarket. Number 6, by simply turning off your lights or any electronic devices that are not in use, you can save money. Also, if you can, change out the costly light bulbs that you have for LEDs if they're not already LEDs. It may be a small investment at first, but over time it will definitely pay off. Number 7, instead of buying books, renting movies, and or audiobooks, go to the library where you can use the resources there for free. Your taxes are already paying for your local library, so you might as well use it, right? Number 8, turn down the thermostat in the winter and layer up. And in the summer, turn the thermostat down and take layers off. Just a couple of degrees, ladies and gentlemen, either way can make a big difference in your heating or electric bill at the end of the month. And the last one for saving money, ladies and gentlemen, don't buy that iPhone 27 if you don't need it. Meaning, if you see something that you like, but you really don't need it, then don't buy it. You have to ask yourself, what is more important? Now, I'm not saying not to have a life. Okay, we all need to get those things that bring us joy in life. But if you really don't need it and you know that your pantry has a few holes in it that you can fill with that money instead, then make the decision that better fits your family's needs than your emotional need by getting something that you really don't need just because it's the newest thing on the block. Now, how can we make some extra money, ladies and gentlemen? That's the big question. How can we make a little extra revenue that we can use for prepping? Have a yard sale. If you have stuff, and what I mean by stuff is things that don't fall in line with your preps and you don't use them, then have a yard sale and sell them. Now, I'm not saying to go ahead and sell your gas mask if you have a gas mask that's part of your prepping, all right? But if you have things that you just don't need, that you don't use, that are not part of your prepping stockpile, then have a yard sale and use those funds or use those earnings to go out and buy some things that you can use for prepping. Number 2, go for a walk. And when you do so, bring a bag along. Collect bottles and cans along the way. Even if you only pick up a few bottles a day, after a month it can really add up. When I used to live in Michigan, now I'm not sure what state you're in as far as if they charge a deposit fee for cans and bottles, but I know that in Michigan, when I used to live there, it was 10 cents per can or bottle. And there was a guy in the town that I lived in, that he was known for making a living just off of collecting cans and bottles. And the big story in town was the day that he was able to buy himself a brand new truck just off of the savings that he put aside from collecting cans and bottles. So go for a walk and bring a bag. And every time you see a bottle or a can, pick it up, put it in the bag and collect it at the end of the month. Bring it to wherever it is that you bring it to sell it, and just take that money and use that money for your preps. Number 3, if you have a spare room, rent it out. If the local zoning laws or regulations in your town allow you to do so. But a lot of people, especially elderly people that maybe don't have any children living with them, they may have a spare room. Rent that room out. Just search around town, ask friends if anyone needs to rent out a room, and who knows, maybe if you rent it out to someone who's reliable, maybe they can help you do work around the house in addition to paying you a monthly rent. Number 4, take surveys for money. Most of the times when you see people around the entrance or exits of a store, of a supermarket, or any kind of a store, and they're asking you to take a survey, those people are getting paid for asking you to take those surveys and you actually taking the survey for them. And a lot of times they get paid by the survey that you took. So if they collect 10 surveys that day, they get paid for 10. If they collect 20, they get paid for 20. So figure out a way that you can do surveys. All you got to do is just stand around the entrance of a store that allows you to do it, and you guys can do surveys and collect money for doing a job that pretty much anyone can do. Number 5, start a YouTube channel. You know, ladies and gentlemen, everyone out there has a story. And there's 7.5 billion people in this world. And I'm sure that some of those people, at least 1,000 of them, which is what you need to become monetized in YouTube, would like to hear your story. So start a YouTube channel. I remember talking to someone a while back, and they told me their story because they were having a little bit of financial problems. So I was talking with them, and I told them, why don't you start a YouTube channel? Because the story you just told me of what you've gone through in the last couple of years is extremely interesting, and I'm sure that you can monetize your story. And it's your story, so why don't you monetize it so that it can help you out and help your family out? So start a YouTube channel and tell people your story. I'm sure there's at least 1,000 people out of 7.5 billion out there that would like to learn your story and know what it is that your life was about or is about. Last one, ladies and gentlemen. Now, in Alaska, we are able to sell homemade food stuff without a permit, as long as we use products that we purchased here in Alaska. So, for example, I can't be ordering things from overseas. I can't be ordering anything from the lower 48 and then cooking it here and then selling it. As long as everything that we bought was made in Alaska, or not made in Alaska, but purchased in Alaska, we can bake cakes, we can make rice. If I wanted to make rice and beans and sell it, put it on Craigslist and sell it, we could. All right, so check with your state, check where you live, and see if you can do something similar to that. Now, here in Alaska, there's a cap on how much you can make per year selling food out of your house, and there's a special label that you have to put on the food when you sell it so that people know that it came from your home. All right, that you have to do. But I'm sure it's different in different states. Check with your state. You know, go ahead and make that awesome banana bread, you know, and have everyone in your community or around your town be knocking on your door because they want that next banana bread that you make or whatever it is that you specialize in making. Everyone can make at least one good thing. So go ahead and take advantage of that one good thing you can make and sell it and make some extra money. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's all that I have as far as what recommendations or suggestions really that I would have in helping you take a look at some things that you can do in order to save some money and maybe earn a little extra income. Now, obviously, for all of these different situations, you would have to do your own research and see what is allowed and not allowed in the state or country or city that you live in. But I'm sure that you can do something, all right? Just don't give up. Don't just sit down and stay sitting down and feel like there's no hope. There's always hope as long as you want there to be. There is always hope for you to be able to make a little extra money or save money by taking cost-saving measures in your everyday life. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I really hope you appreciated this video. And please, for those of you that have ideas that I didn't cover in this video, please leave it in the comments. I'm very interested to see what you guys think and what you guys come up with as far as ways to save money and ways to earn extra revenue, so that those of you out there that may be in need of a little bit of extra revenue or money at the end of every month in order to prep, so that you guys can take a look at the comments and take action, ladies and gentlemen. The best time to start is right now, okay? Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait till the day after. Start now. Do something that you know that is going to be positive in your life so that you can be prepared for anything. It doesn't have to be for any one thing, but for anything. All right? Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for joining in. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you very much, and you are one of my VIPs. All right? I was seeing some people say, I'm one of your VIP. Well, you know what? If you make it to the end of my videos, you are definitely a VIP. And I really want to thank you very much for that. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, thank you very much for joining in. Remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place. And you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings for all of you and your families. This is Alaska Prepper, and I am out.